Okay guys, welcome back to the Forensics Detailing channel. About 6 months ago, can't be 6 months, but I think it is, I polished this car and I used the silica primer polish, Total One Essential, like a thick resin that you put on, and I like to leave it, and it's really glossy and nice, but it's quite thick to work with. And then I topped it with this Brightmax SiO2 spray sealant, which is also, you leave it on and it does sort of stiffen, so it's quite resinous, but it has really good durability. Those products have lasted well, but it is about 6 months, 5 months, 6 months, maybe 7 months, I can't remember. They're gone now, and I need to re-protect my car. So I'm looking through all of this lovely stuff that I've got, and I enjoy this part of it, and I just want to try a new product. So I'm going to try this Adams stuff, which I've been meaning to get onto the channel for ages, and more of it's going to filter through in some of the videos and comparison videos. But what I'm interested to try is the Adams ceramic liquid wax. You know, traditionally liquid waxes never had as much durability as the paste waxes. This is winding back 10-20 years when they were reliant on waxes. The reason being that a liquid wax would contain an emulsifier, so you could add water to make the products easier to spread and easier to buff, okay, and safer and cheaper because they contain water. Sorry, but that's just the truth. Nowadays, these emulsions, well, if they use, this is how I see it, if they're using any form of organic wax, and what do I mean by organic wax? Well, not just organic wax, just any wax really, you know, carnauba wax, montan wax, polyethylene wax, silicone waxes, all these sorts of things. They typically still need some sort of emulsifier if you're going to put water in. When you add emulsifiers, you make these waxes less impervious to water, and that affects their durability. So that's the payoff with liquid products. You know, it makes sense, doesn't it? And the emulsifier is not there to make a product mushy, and it's there to make it combine. Two components that don't combine. So you lose durability typically. Because this is an SiO2 one, I'm wondering nowadays if that whole liquid wax is not lasting so long is not so relevant. So potentially with these products you get something that's easier to spread and last just as long. So we're going to be using the ceramic liquid wax. In this Adams line we also have surface prep product, and we have trim cleaner. I'm not sure, maybe if you're going to ceramic a trim you can use this trim prep, and a shampoo with ceramic protection in it, whatever that kind of means. So let's go ahead and use the surface prep and see what it's like and put the coating on. I'm going to start up the time lapse. Okay guys, so I've been down and degreased the car. What do I think of Adams surface prep? When I first started using it, my devious, cynical mind was just saying, it's just IPA and water, it's just IPA and water. It's 355 millilitres of it, and I don't know how much it costs, but it'll be like a tenner or something, and I can just use IPA and water. It's not quite IPA and water. There's some other stuff in this. It's the rainbow kind of flash which gives it away. There's some other solvents. It's a bit more complicated than IPA and water, and it's a bit more powerful as well. It's decent. Would I buy Adams surface prep? No, I wouldn't, guys. I use IPA and water with a little bit of SLS, and I use Tetrasil pre-wipe degreaser when I would go in with a hardcore degreaser. Why? Because it's dirt cheap. But is this a good product? Yes, it is. Most of the Adams stuff is, isn't it? So that's how I feel about it, but it's done a cracking job. What I liked about it as well, guys, everything is slow today because it's so cold. None of the products, the solvents, are flashing like they normally do. So I had to lay it out on the panel, buff, which is what I like to do. But it's just sticking to the panel because it doesn't want to evaporate. So I just laid it and wiped the film over the car and then left it for about 5 or 10 minutes. Just so I could start to see a little bit of rainbowness in it. So even, you know, with the garage door open and some air blowing through it, it starts to vape. And then when you buff it, it feels nice and smooth. I'm using soft, fluffy cloths as well, that if they're wet, they will stick to the panels. So it's all about knowing what tools you're using and all that sort of stuff and everything. Anyway, let's cut to the chase. So it's a surface prep. It's fine. It's good. The next thing is the liquid ceramic wax. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another one of these. This is another clean into detailing 350 Korean, but it's in the little pad. I love them as applicators because they're soft and they're safe, and the paintwork's in good condition. I don't want to use those kind of really cheap terry cloth style ones, although they would be alright, you know. This is just my personal preference. No idea what to do here with this product. I'm just reading the instructions. Apply to a small quarter-sized blob. What the hell's a quarter? Onto a wax applicator. Does that mean I cover a quarter of the wax applicator? That's a quarter, so I'm assuming that's like 50p or something like that, or 20p, I don't know. Spread onto the surface in a thin, even layer in void panel gaps and edges of body lines. So yeah, don't, in other words, just like don't buff over these lines, or else you're going to get products in the places which are harder to hit. Which reminds me, I need to pop the hood up and get all of the polishing out from when the body shop had it. So I think there's some polish under there. So good job I read these instructions. Allow to dry for a few minutes. In high humidity climates, please allow longer. So if it's damp, allow longer. Yes, I think I'm going to leave this, well, we'll see, but a good 10 minutes. I want it dry before I buff it. Still love using solvent-based products. Everything is going to kind of water-based. But I love these kind of thicker emulsions. Typically a solvent-based product will be used, not exclusively, but typically when there's a resin involved and the solvent is dissolving it. We're using less resins in products now and using more clever amino functional silicon or silicones that can bond and stuff like that, water-based ones and other clever forms of modified silicons, and also these SI materials, I suppose, which this has, which I'm interested in. Shouldn't really talk too much about my preconceived opinions on this, but what I'm expecting is it to be a decent product, probably last. Does it say how much it lasts? It doesn't really say. It'd be nice if it gave you an idea on how long it lasted, because really really from a modern sealant ceramic liquid wax, you'd want about 4 months, wouldn't you? Because that's kind of what the Meguiar's one can do, and this is going to be a little bit more difficult to apply. Well, not difficult, but a lot more buffing than the Meguiar's ceramic wax. Incidentally, Meguiar's have got a new ceramic liquid wax coming out, so we'll probably do some comparisons with this to the Meguiar's one. Anyway, I need to get on with this, don't I? So let's get it onto the panel. I'll just pop this down over here so you can see what I'm doing. You know, I'm going to put, I'm just going to put a cross so you can see. The thing is, you'll always get that you've put too much on, but really you should be able to, yeah, just one line, that'll do. That's like a quarter's worth, isn't it? Whatever a quarter is. I'll bring you with me, guys, so you can see. Let's just work this over the panel. So it feels good. I always like a product where I don't have to push, I don't have to work hard. I can just gently work in very light, with light pressure. So it'd be nice if this would spread over the whole quarter of this hood. So I'm just starting to get some gaps now. So if I work it around in circles, yeah, I'm still getting the coverage. I want to get up to the halfway line. Still getting coverage. Can you see this? I'm just going to do the old cross hatching. So that seems pretty good to spread. No different to any other kind of liquid waxes that I've kind of used in the past. It's a little bit, it's not like spreading like butter, it needs a little bit of working. Problem is I'm probably picking it up now. I am. So let's just leave that. So there's a good amount on there, guys. In fact, I reckon I can keep going. Look, see that? So just nice and light. Yeah, so that's pretty spreadable, this, guys. Maybe if you can do the whole bonnet. Just get a bit more difficult now to spread, actually. Yeah, it's dried out. So now, in my opinion, I need to put more product on because it's becoming a bit of a pain. You can see I'm running out of stuff to spread. You could argue this isn't the ideal applicator, but like I say, I like using them because they're so safe, especially after I've corrected the paintwork. But this applicator is actually very absorbent, so you might want to use a little bit more. Sorry if I keep sniffing, I just got a little bit of a cold. You might want to just use a little bit more product. So let's go back. Loads in here. Spread this around so it's a little bit, when you've got loads, it's a little bit more sticky. Then once you start thinning it out, it feels a bit nicer. Certainly isn't difficult to spread. There's quite a lot there. What I want to do, see, there's way too much product there and you kind of keep going. What I'm going to do is leave that to see if it's difficult to remove if you use too much. See, I think of everything. I'm going to apply the whole lot to the hood. You can see perhaps as well why these products have fallen out of favour for water-based spray products like Bead Maker, like things like this, like Mother's CMX, or even the Adams Ceramic Boost, the liquid ones that you can just mist straight over a panel and you've got loads of it there and you can spread it without having to sort of do this whole old school kind of this thing, you know what I mean? But saying that, doing this old school kind of twirly whirly thing with a thicker resinous type product, I don't know, there's something satisfying about it, and you know that whole paintwork is kind of covered, consistent, and it probably sometimes as well these can be a little bit glossier, these resinous products. Not always though, some exceptions to that, aren't there? So here we go. I had to close the garage door. It's one of those days today where I'm trying to film and literally every 10 minutes there's an interruption. It's not the missus, it's someone else, you know. Anyway, I'm just whinging. Just whinging. I'm longing to be able to up sticks. Let's close the door. In case she hears me, I'm longing to be able to get a house in the countryside away from everybody. I would just love, you know, to be, I'm a bit of a recluse. I could spend the whole day just buggering around with cars and filming and doing this sort of stuff. I kind of enjoy it now. It's kind of what I do. And the area here that I do it in it's a good area to bring the kid up in and all that sort of stuff. But for me, I'd love to be away from civilization. I know a lot of you are exactly the same. But in England, getting like a small holding now in a nice part of the world, you need millions. It's just ridiculous. That's why I like the idea of America. You can get yourself a house, you know. Get yourself a house with some land, like proper massive amounts of land in certain areas for not a lot of money. And that is one of the wisest things that I think you could ever do, isn't it? Buy land. Because land, there's a finite amount of land on this earth, and it's always going to be like that. And it's only ever going to go up in value. And it's a commodity that as the population increases, it's going to become more and more sought after. and more your average people are going to get less of it, and the very wealthy people that have got it already are going to be a real minority, and you know, so it'd be nice to have lots of land. Anyway guys, from that second pickup of product, look, it's still going, so I can cover this wing as well. I haven't had to pick up any more. It's still spreading, look. So now this material is kind of saturated, it's not absorbing it, it just, I think a little goes a long way, the old detailing cliche. So there we go. Okay guys, I'm back. So ironically, I was just talking about products being easy to apply. I've got a prediction of what's going to happen here. On the wings, where I've got a very thin layer of the product, I think it's going to be a doddle to buff. Over here, where I've used a relatively small amount of product and spread it in a thin film, I think it's going to be a doddle to buff. Here, where I hurled it on, it still hasn't dried because there's so much thick product. It's starting to go now. It's still very thick here, but not quite as thick as over there, where you got like a, you know, like it's like butter on bread. Here, where there's quite a lot of it, I think it's going to be a pain to buff, or it's going to require double buffing, you know what I mean. You're going to have to go in hard. Anyway, brand new clean microfiber cloth. Let's just check all this theory out. So here we go. Here's the nice easy bit where I've applied it properly, and it does look like it's cured to me now. So let's go. Let's go, champ. Oh yeah, that's lovely. That is just really nice. It's very soft. Doesn't look like it's streaked. The Adams products, man, they don't usually let you down when it comes to all this buffability. That's why I like the hand polish. Look, you can see this, yeah? That's lovely. Feels okay, it feels good. It's not like, I've got a feeling this product will carry on curing for God knows how long. I mean, the paint feels nice, but it's polished, fresh paint. It doesn't have, well, so it doesn't have slickness. It feels nice. It just feels nice, and it looks glossy, and it's really, really easy to buff, guys. I'm just going to leave that section here and buff this wing. Nice. Reg would love this. Reg would be going nuts. The nice thing is my cloth, what I mentioned earlier, if you're using a water-based product, these cloths aren't the right choice. With a solvent-based product, they're lovely. My cloth is just gliding over this like resin or whatever it is, scooping it up, and I'm just getting glossy, shiny paint with no smearing. So that's really important to me. It looks good and it feels good. Right, now I'm going to flip my microfiber. So let me just, I'm doing this with a camera in one hand. So I've got a clean section. That's condensation. And I'm going to buff this ridiculous footprint, like the puddle of product. So let's see what happens. It's fine. Okay. Yeah. You see this? Where it's really thick, I need to circle more, and I've got very good, decent workshop lighting on top of it, so I can see this. Without the lighting, you wouldn't see. So yes, you don't want to go hurling this on, but I've got stupid amounts of product on here. So let's just go over and buff that thick layer. Yeah, so I'm picking it all up. My microfiber cloth is picking up wet product, so it's becoming an applicator as well. But it's still coping, it's coming off. Because it hasn't dried, you see I'm actually spreading product now. So what I'll do is flip, and now I'm picking it up. Yeah, it's nice. Guys, that's good. That's good, because that suggests to me, even if you hurl it on, it's not going to kind of go rock solid. I'm interested to know in the summer, will it go bone dry? because it's very, what's the temperature? Okay, we're 8 degrees Celsius with 87% humidity, so it's cold. But just buff this. That's good. I'm going to flip one more time to a clean side. Nice. Just taking my time here, guys. This is like I love this part of doing detailing. I love it when you've got like nice polished paint, soft cloth, nice buffy type product. You get your old mitt stuck in, get some buffage going. Really good. So I want to get another cloth because I've destroyed this cloth. It's full, it's just impregnated with product now, so we go get another one. And let's carry on buffing. Yeah, nice. So if you apply it properly, it's lovely to buff. Really nice. Beautiful. No ghosting, no smearing, no streaking. Just nice. Just like to take my time when I'm doing this. Stay away from the car. I'm wearing the worst jacket ever to detailing. It's the worst. As always with anything detailing, guys, just for this informal kind of video, guys, good results. And I'm now going to go buff it off of this wing, apply it to the front bonnet there, front bumper, and apply it to all the rest of the car, because I've done a little panel wipe down on these cars. I haven't polished them because it was polished a while back. Really, I shouldn't be polishing this car again for at least another year. Let it build up scratches. Yes, it's going to get micro swirls and scratches from washing and stuff like that. Best advice I can give you is not become too anal about all of that stuff. Your car, I know we're all different, but for me the car is there to enjoy, to blast around in. Enjoy it, love it, because you're probably going to end up selling it, you know, at some stage anyway, and you're not going to care. As soon as it goes out the door, all of this investment of time is wasted. So enjoy driving the car. Enjoy looking after the car in any way you see fit. If you don't get enjoyment out of maintaining it, then don't do it. Just drive the wheels off of it. Do what is right for you. What you'll see on YouTube and from other people is lots of opinions, you know, and you get that from me as well on how you should be doing it. The truth is, there is no right or wrong, and there's no right or wrong in how long you should spend on doing this. It's all down to how much time you've got and how much enjoyment you get out of it. But for me, it's a Saturday, rainy Saturday afternoon. I've got a hall pass till about 2 or 3 o'clock, and then I've got to do some family things, and I'm just going to enjoy, you know, exploring these products. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.